And good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us again here on
Get him
Onside.
Onside!
As we go on this evening, we'll have a jam-packed things to talk about. But before we start that, I'd just like to welcome my co-host for this evening, Mr. Moses Mo Gaius. Mo, thank you for being here this
Thanks,
evening.
Coach. Thanks for having me.
No worries. So, and on that same vein, we'll just a quick shout out to our regular Si Joang. He's got some family issues there with some of his family members not too well, and we wish them a speedy recovery as well.
Yeah.
So thank you and all the best with that. So Mo, we've got a bit to talk about this evening. Obviously, you've had some stuff on with Santos Cup over the last couple of days.
Yeah, it's been a very good 3 days of with part of our role with my role with PNGRFL is to provide some support around education and capacity building for the performance staff that work in the Santos Cup. So it was good to have
I'll hold
them
you
come
on
in.
that,
Yeah,
Mo.
yeah.
We'll grab that in a little bit later on. There's a little bit more
getting
to be
excited,
talking
but
about,
yeah.
but it's good to see you really excited with that. We've also got the State of Origin preview
Oh, yeah,
happening
we
in
do.
a couple of days, less than a week. We've had Connor Watson that's been in town also. We've potential chief signing. We'll talk a little bit about that as well as in the other codes, we've got the Hekari FC United rounding up in the Pro League, which was, I think it's the Oceania Pro League.
Oceania Pro League, yep.
Correct? Is that, so Yabil just correcting me on that one there. And also the Barras. The Barras pulled off a win despite going down to Japan in their last game in the Super Sixes in the cricket. So got a little bit to talk about this evening, Mo. Great to have you on board. I'm sure your share as well as your knowledge in the game will be beneficial to all of you out there. Right, as we said, there's a lot to talk about, but there's some highlights that have happened during the course of the last couple of days and last week. And I think an international one was, and one of my favorites I like to cue into every now and then, is the MMA. And look, there was some big fights happening. I think it was a Netflix fight.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
Netflix MMA debut fight there.
And we had there was a bout for the women, Ronda Rousey.
You can come back as well out of retirement as well to this. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's been out of retirement for 5-10 years, something like that.
Close to that.
And she went up against Carano, and apparently she doesn't need to fight or anything like that. She comes from a pretty wealthy family, but it's something that she does, and I think she comes from a kickboxing background. But that fight, look, that was an undercard, I think, to the Francis Ngannou fight, who came back.
That came back from that as well too. Yeah, that was a really, really good fight to watch. In that, I watched, I think, the first round and then blackout.
Well, you didn't miss much because I think it was only the first round, because that was like 4 minutes and some plus seconds before the 5-minute mark where he got a knockout. And look, I think bringing it up, great names. They've been in the sport for a long time. However, bit iffy, bit questioning. Both the women's fighters have been out for
a long time.
Francis's opponent probably not to the standard. Yeah, so for mine, a little bit of a cash grab there. So I don't know what's doing there, people. We need you to get on side with that. That's an offside for me for sure.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I watched the pre what do you call it? The pre-fight show. All right, there was a lot of talk around like who was going to come on top of this, and obviously Francis was the former heavyweight, right? Before he went to drag. So he finished undefeated.
Undefeated.
So yeah. So coming back out there, obviously high expectations on him to actually perform well, and yeah, lasted one round. So I definitely didn't miss much. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably a little bit of a cash grab for mine. I think, there's still a little bit of nostalgia there. They're living in the past a bit. Credit to them. They're great fighters, but I think maybe it was a little bit of a G-up just to get a little bit of attention for the sport. Great fighters back in the day. I think they still are. I mean, I wouldn't take on Ronda Rousey.
No, I wouldn't.
I mean, period. But look, great one. I think the next thing that I really wanted to talk about, this is one that's special to our producer and director's heart. Arsenal.
Thank you.
After how many years, Yabil? Bring us up to speed, please.
Yes, please.
22 years of nothing but taking crap from everybody in the Premier League.
And the Gunners, they've stood up, finally. I mean, look, everybody around them, take nothing away from them. I think everybody else around them's capitulated as well. The Manchesters and who else? The Man Uniteds. But look, credit to Arsenal. They've done a great job in the EPL or the English Premier
English
League.
Premier League.
So one of the greatest out there. A bit of a soccer man, yes, no?
Me, not really a soccer man. I'm more football. I'm a football guy.
Well,
A
there
bit
you
of
go.
fighting.
Mo's a bit of a football guy. And look, that was a good one. I think coming back domestically, I think we're going to talk a little bit about the Digicel ExxonMobil
Yep.
Cup. And there's a team that's been flying under the radar. I think they've done a bit of work to get into the competition. And I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yep, I do.
So the Morobe Kandes, I think they're a team that have branding the name Morobe, working out of or playing out of Medang.
Medang, yep.
So they're doing a bit of work in Medang Rugby League as well to get their pathways up and running. But at the moment, they're sitting with one loss,
Yeah.
one draw, and the remainder of their games have
They're
been
all
wins.
wins, yeah.
Yeah.
They've been winning. And I've watched a few of their games as well too, and like I can see that there's a lot of potential in the team there as well too to be in the top four. There were some really good wins when I watched them play against Galfi. So then it was just a really good game to watch. They had a lot of young players as well too in their team, but majority of them very experienced players. So we've got Charlie Simon as well in the half there with Kaupasip and the fullback. So they've got a really good spine as well too. So very young mobile forwards as well too. So we really see how they go for the rest of the season as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're sort of a third of the way in the competition now. But on that note, I'd also like to bring out, the coach, Stanley Teppen, very experienced. Prior to the Hunters, he was done great things at the Tigers. And we know what he's capable of in terms of building players. So he's sort of in that frame right now. He's got Charlie Simon, who's sort of been with him for a long time.
Yeah.
He's picked out Kaupasipa. But I'd like to also point out his scouting of the former, the junior, I think he was the junior Eagles team.
Yes, with the
John.
academy.
Yeah, academy,
Amish John.
Amish John.
Amish John, I watched him play. He's such a really good athlete, like very talented, very tough kid as well too. He's also some sort of like a leader as well too.
Absolutely.
So like considering his first season at Digicel ExxonMobil Cup and stepping up and really leading like a young forward pack around the park as well too is really good to see as well too. So yeah, Amish has been really good for the team.
Yeah, Amish John, and I liken him a little bit to Kora, who we'll be talking a little bit about, Joseph Kora from the Vipers. So we'll talk a little bit more about this young fellow also and how he's going in his first season in the Cup. Otherwise, look, they're going great guns. I think Stanley Tippen's doing a great job. They've got a good unit happening in the management, and also Medang's sort of got the buy-in as well. So it's something that hopefully they can develop over the course of the year. But as
hopefully,
you said, it's a long season, so
it is. I feel like it's a very long season as well too. But then, like you mentioned, what they're doing off the field as well too it's really good to see. It was good to get to I believe the Ron Albert Oval where their home ground is, and like seeing the development they're doing. They're setting up like good change rooms and like a gym as well too is about to be put up as well too, and really good stands as well too. So trying to really set up a stadium where the fans can come and really enjoy the game and have a good game day experience. So those are some of the things that I've seen that they're starting to do as well too. In the short period I was with them, listening to the plans that Coach Stanley and them have in place, like a pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty happy with the way that Kande are going in terms of their planning as well too.
Yeah, good. No, that's great. Great kudos to them, and also to the Medang Rugby League executive and their team out there who are now reviving the league and wanting to embrace the presence of the Kandes and moving forward with their development as well. That's pretty much it for now, but we'll...
Side note, Medang's a pretty hot place. Game day experience, heat policy. Yes, no.
Good question. Very good
very
question.
good question.
I think I'll have to flick it over to the expert in that, but I think we do have a...
Yeah, we do. So we follow the NRL heat policy guidelines. So as a competition, we need to look at doing one for ourselves. Obviously, it is very hot, very humid when I went there. But I reckon like it I don't know. I'm a bit hard ass. Can I say that?
Yeah.
I'm a bit hard ass. I would say just go for the full 14 minutes and they just play the game out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite warm in Port Moresby the last couple of weeks.
has.
A couple of weeks in the past, so you can only imagine what Lane, Madang would be. Madang, Wewak, East New Britain. Can get quite warm.
Yep.
I'm no geologist, but it's close to the equator, but it feels like it. So it's quite warm. I think it may come into play probably when the NRLC
Yeah.
enforce their own policy, but it's something that we'll definitely need to work on.
But I think the players, when they travel there, they get acclimatized.
Yeah. Or the players they will feel it as soon as they get out of the plane. It's a very humid place, but it's beautiful place though.
Also beautiful, yes.
Very, very beautiful
The
place.
beauty just subsides the,
It does.
the heat.
Yeah.
Like, it's hot, but it's also beautiful.
Oh, mom. Yeah, that's right. Thanks for that, Yabil. So, interesting fact there, something to look at. Again, we may call in some of the experts on that, but
yeah.
definitely we've got one here, so if anything, we'll have him back as an expert. And as I said a little bit earlier, our guest co-host this evening, Mo Gaius, comes in with a lot of experience in the performance space, as he's been with so many different performance teams, with the Orchids, also with the Hunters, and I believe the Kumals at different times. But Mo's had a full week, the last couple of days, and he's going to bring us up to speed on what the Santos Cup preparations look like for 2026. So Mo, just on the last couple of days, what have you been up to with your cohort?
Yeah, thank you, Coach. So it's been a really good week, especially in terms of like capacity building. It was great to have like the team managers from the Santos Cup and the sports trainers, the strength and conditioning coaches, and the physios come in. Where we spent 3 days going through them about looking at what 2005 season was for Santos Cup, and I guess looking at how we can really improve the standards for 2026 season. Obviously, the objective is to get better every single season, and having like actual data in place and getting feedback from everybody was good to see. Okay, these are the gaps that we've missed, and we need to fill the gaps and really improve our standards. So it was good for them to come in. With the sports trainers, they went through a level 1 sports trainer course that was delivered by the Australian Frontline Solutions Group. They're also an exclusive provider for the NRL as well too. So the idea around it was to have Australian accreditation, Australian education, so the standard of education that they receive, and then get the PNG RFL accreditation. So it was good to be getting accreditation that was in line with world's best practice. So 2 days of doing the sports trainer course, and then we had a split session where the team managers went on and did some work around what they had to do in terms of team compliance and managing the team. The physios, it was good to have Hendriella from Active Physio.
Shout out
Hendricks, thanks for turning up. You and Dr. Rose, outstanding work today. Really, really good work. So they come in and really worked well with the physios through a day. I was very fortunate to also have an opportunity to work with the physios and the strength and conditioning coaches and the sports trainers and run them through a level 1 strength and conditioning course. So after that, it was great to accreditate like 15 level 1 strength and conditioning coaches who are also SNCs and also sports trainers as well too. So a bit of cross education work there. So that's what's been happening there.
Of those 15, Mo, just quickly, they go back to which franchises?
So,
who's participating last year and this year?
Yeah, so from 2023-24 season, we've had 6 teams that participated in the competition. That was the NCD Vipers, the Central Dabaris, the East Britain Gurias, the Lay Tigers, the Mount Hagen Eagles, and the Goroka Lahanis. And for 2026 season, we're going to have that same number of teams. These trainers will go back to them, and then they will work as their performance staff. But the exciting thing about 2026 season is that we've got a longer preseason. I love a preseason, and more importantly, it sets them up for a very, very good 8-week regular round season and 2 weeks of competition. So from again, I tend to be a bit biased here where I look at it from a performance view. It's good to see athletes and staff be involved in a representative program, because that's what I believe the NRLC is, a representative program. They represent their regions or their provinces to come and work at this level at this particular level for at least 10 weeks of competition.
Awesome.
So it's good to see that happening. So hopefully it ties in really well to what's to come at the end of the season as well too.
Awesome. So what were some areas you thought in 25 that you in your last couple of days you put a bit of focus on to improve in 26 from across the scope?
Yeah, so from again, I will start from a physical performance point.
Yeah.
I think it was really good to see that a lot of the staff that were involved in last season come back again.
Yeah,
so it was
okay,
good to have the continuity with their education and how they operate as well too, and obviously getting them to meet those standards. So with the strength and conditioning coaches, they looked at really establishing and standardizing a national like physical performance benchmark. So they do tests and then we rank their testing based on what their age groups look like.
Yeah.
And I could whiteboard that for a bit too long. So with the physios, they will work closely with Hendriella, looking at mainly screening for injuries, and more importantly, recording that data and what to use, how to use that data, what they use that data for, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Obviously, with the team managers, obviously really big on communication, both with the competition and with their franchises and with their teams as well too. So looking at how do you operate better and how do you take the workload off of everybody just by doing your job a bit more effectively. So I think the theme for us when we went into this conference was improving the standards, number one, and obviously better ways of working as well too. So obviously working smarter, all right, instead of working too hard.
Yeah. Great. No, that's great. That's really informative. So that's a couple of days, the last 3 days that have been happening. So I'm going to pick your calendar in your brain now. When does preseason start, and then when's the first ball kicked, and where?
Yeah, so for the Centers Cup, the preseason will start around actually the first week of June. So about 2 weeks' time, that's when the teams come in, or to each area. Then they go for a 6-week preseason, and that should lead up to at least the second week of July. So tentatively, the 11th and the 12th of July is when the competition is expected to kick off, and goes on for about 8 weeks. So obviously, I'm pretty excited about that. 14 weeks altogether, plus 2 weeks of finals, so 16 weeks. So you can imagine like how
I can see it now through your head. You're just the data, the numbers.
Yeah, the numbers. Yeah. So also, coach, just before you continue, that because I collect a lot of GPS data as well too, not just for the women's competition as well too, but across the national youth competition, across the Digicel Cup. It's from a physical performance standpoint, it's really good to see that we're starting to increase our workload capability. All right, not just with the men's and the NYC, but in the women's competition. Obviously, it hasn't started yet, but it's just by looking at prehistoric data, then say for the past 2 seasons, this is the level we've been performing at. We've got an opportunity to perform at this level now come 2026 season. So with a longer preseason and longer season, again, like I said, it's looking a bit more promising to be very, very competitive domestically and definitely internationally as well.
Absolutely.
Yep.
No, that's great. No, so thank you for that, Mo.
Coach.
There's a lot of information coming there, but I think it's coming also at the right time when there's a lot happening in rugby league at the moment, and to know what's happening on the domestic front or nationally. There's a lot of people working hard in the background, like Mo himself and the teams that he's working with across the country in doing the heavy lifting so that they can try and narrow the gap in a lot of areas for us to be a lot more competitive, both nationally at the level of football as well as internationally. So a big shout out to your team as well and to everybody that's involved in that, and a big shout out also to Santos for continuing their sponsorship in making sure that the female game is right up there amongst the males as well.
Yeah, very good.
So thanks for that, Mo. And we'll just do a quick look into the Hunters and how they're going. Obviously, they're struggling a little bit. They've had the one win from how many games now, Yabil?
I think I have 2 wins.
Oh, they've had 2
2
wins.
wins, one
Correction.
No, actually, 2 wins.
2 wins, 1 home and 1
One
away.
away, correct, yep.
Yeah, so
2 wins, 10 games.
Not too good, struggling a little bit. Obviously, we don't want to kick a man when they're down. So there's a lot of areas they need to work with. Obviously, defense is one of those areas. There's been a turnover in players as well. However, wherever there's a little bit of a dampening, there's always a light somewhere.
There is. And
What are your findings from there, Mo?
yeah, look, Coach, I think obviously, like you mentioned, that it's been a pretty tough season for the players and for the staff as well too. I can't imagine what they're going through, but knowing that there's support still there for the team as well too, so it's really, really good to see. But from in terms of players that have really stood out for me, I think we discussed earlier, was Bruce Bawase. I think he's been a really, really consistent performer for the boys as well too. Obviously with Sunny at the back as well. So we're going to have a few more boys that would step up as well too and really help these boys. We can definitely get a W every single week. At least compete for full 80 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the one, getting in there and just keeping the heads up and competing for as far as they can into the game, regardless of the score. Obviously, you want to be in front on the scoreboard, but it's 10 games into the season of 22 games in the whole round, so 21.
21? Wow.
So another 11 more games or so.
Couple of buys in between, so probably right.
Yeah, a couple of buys. I
trim
think
it
they're on
down
a
to
back-to-back this for the next 2 weeks.
Two buys, so another 10 games.
Yeah, another
Yeah,
10
so
games,
another 10 games there. So yep,
anything can happen,
Yeah.
Definitely turn the season around.
turn the season around. Hopefully finish on a high note there. That's the main thing, is finishing strong.
Absolutely.
Yeah, prepare us for the next season. Yeah.
And that's it. So we'll have a quick break and we'll see you on the other side. And we're back. We're going to talk a little bit about players in form and also players who are visiting. So the player in spotlight today is Joseph Kora, a young fellow from Port Moresby Vipers. You had a little bit to do with him?
Yeah, so I was very fortunate to work with Joey when he first came in through the academy program. Then obviously when the national youth competition started last year, it was unfortunate that he couldn't make it because of age eligibility. But then again, the NCD senior men's team in the Digicel Mobile Cup elevated him into their top 30, and it was good to see him actually have a run last season and having a really strong preseason towards at the beginning of this year, and seeing him be a regular starter for the Vipers. And I think he's been a really, really good middle edge player for them.
Yeah.
Very powerful runner,
consistent.
very consistent and very intense player. So works it.
He seems like for a young fellow, it seems pretty intense off the field as well. But I mean, I watched him play on the weekend for the Vipers, and he wore the number 4 jersey. So in around the same block, just a jersey change, a number change. But he really filled in that role. He played really well. He took some really strong carries. Met by some solid defenses, because some really tough blokes in the wingman side there, and they put some shots on him. But
They did. They really targeted him as well.
He stood up to it, and I think to the back end he scored the winning try, which got them that 12-10.
Yeah.
And it was I think it was a drop ball pickup, and he ran about
just
60?
close to 60
close
meters
to 60
he ran.
meters he ran. Well-built kid, definitely a player of the future. If he keeps his head level, and everybody around him works to ensure that they're playing some good football as a team. I'm sure that he's got some. We don't want to put the mock on him, but I'm sure he'll do the small things right.
Correct.
Stay consistent in that space.
And like you mentioned as well to coach, he's still a kid. Which is a scary thing and a good thing as well too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously going through a really, really good program with under guidance of Wello and Butler at the Vipers as well too. So they're doing some really good things around, not just with him, but with all the players that they have. It's good to see a very young group of players in their squad as well. So, and then seeing the results that they get as well too, it's no surprise they're where they are on the ladder right now because of the work they've done.
I totally agree. And that's one thing that stand out about the Vipers this season is their roster. They've got a lot of young kids coming there. They've promoted some players. And we talked a little bit about the Kandes as well. The coaches aren't afraid to have a look at the talent that's been pushed up through the academy programs. And a shout out to the guys at the academy, which you've had. I've done a lot of shouting out today, geez, but well deserved. I'm going to try and cap that word now. Well done to the guys who've been working around in the background to get these kids coming in. That's a show of the pathways that are happening. And we'd love to have them here on the program as well to share what they're doing, both present and into the future. That's Joseph Kora. That was our player of the week, and player of the week scored the winning try. And now we have a look at international, not current player, well documented over the last couple of days or hours. Connor Watson come up on a Sunday, which showed that he was not going to make the Blues team, but he's showing his intent to the Chiefs.
Yeah, he was here over the weekend to watch the Hunters game as well too. So they had a sneak peek of him roaming around in the tunnels here. Then obviously I just assume that there's a high possibility or probability he's here to maybe see where he goes and finds his opportunities with the Chiefs. But it was actually good to have not just him if he does sign with the Chiefs, but maybe AJ and Jerome Lua here as well too. So I think I can see the way that they're going with this, so it seems promising for me from afar.
Now I'm going to pick you out on that one. So you said, I can see where they're going. It seems promising. Okay. Interestingly enough, by the time he comes in 28, he'll be 30 plus. AJ be 30 plus. Luai will be 30 plus. I can see the big splash with Luai. You know, everyone's standing at the door. No one decide are they coming or they're not. Luai's here. Is he playing State of Origin next week?
No, he's not. No,
He's not playing State of
He hasn't
Origin.
been-
Anyway, so, but the first three signings are 30 pluses.
Yeah,
I can see the experience part.
yeah.
What else needs to be done?
Oh, well, obviously we'll need to look at getting some youth around them as well too. But more importantly, why I said it was quite, I could see where they were going is because obviously the first two that we mentioned that signed, they've got obviously NRL experience, but more importantly, they've won premierships as well too. So they know what winning cultures look like as well. So obviously they're towards the back end of their career, so they're more in terms of seniority in the group. So they obviously set those standards and hold players accountable to it and meeting those standards. So that's why I've sort of put it in a way where I can understand where they're going with it.
Yeah.
And obviously the initial stages of any team is to set very high standards and winning standards, because that's what we want, is we want to win every single game.
And I think I picked out the word that you mentioned that stood out the most was culture.
Culture.
So I think these guys come from a background of high, obviously high performance sport. The levels and standards are there. However, different clubs have different standards. Luai coming from Penrith now, who's building it over at the Tigers.
Tigers, yeah.
Connor Watson been around to a couple of clubs, but currently at the Roosters,
At the
they have
Roosters,
quite
yeah,
high
yeah.
standards there. AJ himself, but I guess you can't not ask the question. You've got a bunch of 30-year-olds, and I say that with respect.
Yep.
They're well tested, well proven. However, when's the next group of young fellas who are going to commit to it? And that's not something for you to ask. Now, that's just a question that's thrown up there. If you're watching, Michael Chalmers, we'd love to have you down at the Locker Cafe room and let's have a chat.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, this is your home, and we'd like to get your thoughts on that. Definitely building culture, definitely getting some experienced players. But what's next for us?
Ooh.
Or the Chiefs, I should say, us.
Correct.
Just quickly again, the last one, international one, SOO, State of Origin, number 1, 2026. What's happening there? Blues, Maroons. A while back I used to be, and I'm still a little bit, diehard Queensland, but not really anymore. I really appreciate the product. I think really solid teams. However, I think that it's come out a lot about the number 1 position for the Blues.
Blues, yeah.
Between Tedesco and
Dylan Edwards, yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually a bit surprised with that call. I obviously with nothing against James Tedesco, right? Like really good fullback, really consistent for the Roosters as well too. But I feel like Dylan's been really good for the Penrith Panthers as well too, and for the past few series for the Blues. So yeah, I was a bit surprised with that selection call, but then again, always the coach's call.
Yeah, considering the Penrith's top of the table, and as much as they talk about Cleary, Dylan Edwards, does a lot of heavy lifting.
He does.
Along with Isaiah Yeo, and they've got a really well-balanced team there. I think Tedesco just pips him, and this is doing a little bit of looking into the Fox Lab stuff, just pips him by the meters a little bit and less errors and things like that. But if you have a look at the game and the way the game is played now with fullbacks, I think Dylan Edwards is really a leader in the way the game's changed in the roles.
Yeah.
He does a lot of carries in the early rucks
Yes, he
coming
does.
out,
Yep.
and then he does it at the back end as
Yeah.
well to get the quick play.
Quick play of the
and
ball
stuff.
as well too.
And other teams are starting to recognize that and play it. And I think it's already happened for a couple of seasons, but it makes a big difference. When you get your quick play the balls
Yeah.
off the back, number 4 or 5 tackle,
Yeah.
or you're getting that one number 1 ruck straight after a transition, and you've got a fast guy coming in to set the pace.
Set
for
the
your
pace is
defenders
going
come
to,
through.
yeah.
So it's, as you said, it's a hard call, but look, I think they're going with the Robson and what's his name, Tedesco, chemistry a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Robinson? Trent Robinson.
Yeah.
Not no.
So the coach,
Reese Robinson. Trent's the coach, right?
Trent's the coach.
Trent's
I
the
think that's
coach,
his
yeah.
dad.
Relations.
Possibly,
Robinson,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Anyway, Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah. But yeah, I had a look at the New South Wales team as well too, and obviously they got a few debutants in there as well too, but they've got a really, really good team. I was just really, but then again, sort of looking at a lot of other, what's the word I'm looking for? Other areas of other media people talking about really breaking down the game as well too, and obviously seeing where the game is going right now in the NRL, and obviously when it gets to State of Origin, it's going to go another level. So the question is going to be like, are these players in both teams able to handle that intensity of the game? Number one, and number two, when it really matters, who's going to step up? If you know what I mean. So it'll be really interesting to see, and listening to interviews with both coaches from both teams. I can see that one coach has really done the I'm gonna stuff off this word, due diligence. I almost said jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So I feel like one coach has really come into this season for this series really prepared, and obviously they would have their.
Billy, right?
Which coach is that?
I don't know. Could be Billy, could not be Billy. Could be, I don't know. But obviously, when they get into the rep camps at the beginning of the season, they would set the expectations for them and say, if you want to be in the team for this year, you better be playing the best. And Laurie Daly came out openly and said it, that I will pick the players that are in form. So he sees that, from me, he sees that James Tedesco could be the form fullback for the New South Wales Blues. That's why he's at the number one at the moment, and Dylan Edwards not there. So we'll see how we go. How they go after game one, and if it's going to be a great call for them or not.
I think it'll be a good game. Like as you said, the coaches, each coach has their own method to the madness, if that be it.
Yep.
Billy obviously is canvassed this side. We've got a couple of bench people and people in the team that can play multiple roles. He's probably looked at that as well, the intensity of the game. You know, Adrian Funua, Blake, great player, good meter eater. He's been there. Probably a good one too if Payne Haas was around. But then you've got Brittany Kora, who's been playing some great football
for the Sharkies, yeah.
Debu, I like Walker. I think he brings a different element to the game. He's not so structured. He plays off the cuff. So
he does.
You know, it has its pluses and negatives. Maybe it's a little bit of the way his dad and his uncle coached, but you know, they're playing a lot of off-the-cuff play, eyes up footy.
Yeah.
But he'll be great for it. I think he's come the hour, come at the moment sort of thing for him. And that's SOO, man. Whatever you're doing on Wednesday next week, whether you're Queenslandering or bluing, no bluing, and game law, please, let's just enjoy the product and make sure that you support and enjoy the game for what it is, rather than taking it too emotionally and personally. You talk, Yabil.
Absolutely. Queenslander.
Oh, okay. Cut.
Yeah.
All right. So, look, it's been great. It's been some great discussion tonight. It's been really good to have you on board, Mo. Filling in for C.
Thanks.
Look, if he's not able to join us again, we'd love to have you back and share your thoughts on State of Origin as well as how rugby league is and anything else worth discussing. Otherwise, if you would like to come and share your thoughts with us, we're happy to hear your thoughts. Just reach out to us. Yabil's got some addresses up there for you.
Somewhere.
Drop it in the page.
Drop it on the page. We're happy to accommodate you here, and so that we can.
Get them on side.
That's right. If you're not offside, get onside. And just quickly before we round up, a quick shout out to my barber down at the Handsome Barber, Lagumero Hebo, trying to make me look good. It's a bit hard, but thank you very much. They're right down beside Pacific Racing down in Barocco. So the Handsome Barber down near the drain at Barocco, they're right next to Pacific Racing. So go place your bets, get in there, get your hair cut, have an ice cream, go back and check your wins, all right? But if you are gambling, gamble safely. And not forgetting last, these people here, great people, great food, great company, the Locker Room Cafe and Bar. Big shout out to them for allowing us to have this place to run this
You
program.
can say shout out
As many times you're gonna
so
start.
like
You're gonna
a
start
big
having the word count somewhere around the corner.
Count.
glitch.
Shout out.
Yeah. Speaking of haircuts, I think somebody needs a haircut.
Right there.
Was that it?
All right. Get him on.
Get him on.
Get him on side.
Get him on side.